Welcome to Activate Your Life. I am your host, Erin Esser, and I believe that life isn't a battleground. It's a playground of possibility where self-sabotage is transmuted into self-mastery. On this show, I share tools such as human design, astrology, inner child, and shadow work that help you disrupt your unconscious programming so that you can begin to experience the life that you desire. Don't forget to like, share, and hit the subscribe button to receive valuable information each week that will change your life. Thank you for joining me and welcome to the show. Welcome to another episode of the Activate Your Life show. And today I'm very excited to have Lia Zorzu, and she is a paradigm shifting expert. So she has a BSc, an MSc, and a PhD in system dynamics, a national 3-year scholarship, 2 tech startup awards, and more than 20 years in communication and managing multi-million-dollar projects. Lia had to face, though, a struggle in her life to truly find herself and to find her goal and her purpose in her life. Now she offers the first experiential emotional intelligence online leadership program in the world. Lia helps visionary entrepreneurs and business owners find their true self. She sets the goals that they need to follow, their dreams, and help them make all the steps needed to make them a reality. She helps you identify what you do that doesn't serve you, and she helps you identify how you need to behave to get the results that you want. Her clients lead with confidence and self-awareness, make their annual income monthly, dare to dream and follow their passions. They find happiness in the time that they crave to spend with loved ones and do what they truly love. They all know, accept, and love their true selves. Her program is experiential, intensive, and gets you results from the first week. When she is not supporting her magnificent clients, Lia and her son and partner in life likes to travel, trek, and run and enjoy bike rides by the Mediterranean Sea. A unique fact of her life is that in 2006, she spent 12 months visiting 17 countries, mainly trekking in Asia and Latin America. And she still has relationships that she nurtures from that trip. She adores honestly connecting with people, especially the ones who have totally different beliefs. I love that. She believes that this is the only way to learn more about herself and grow every single day. Lia is active on Facebook, LinkedIn, and also leads a free Facebook group called Intelligent Leaders, entrepreneurs who build thriving businesses. And we'll make sure to have those links below as well in the show notes and in the comments. Lia also writes monthly articles about emotional intelligence, self-image, goal setting, thinking and believing, behavioral change, and many more on LinkedIn and other online entrepreneurial magazines. Oh my word, there's like so much. I'm very excited to have you here, Lia. And I just can't wait to hear more about your story and what really got you here. It sounds like you have such a huge heart and a huge desire to help other people really lead from that heart space and from what lights them up inside. And so, you're at this place now, but in the beginning, you said that you had to really overcome some things in your own life. Would you mind just sharing a bit about what that was and how you got to this place right now?
Thank you so much for the amazing introduction, Irene. So happy to be here. Hello to everybody. Yes, of course, my story is actually my why and why I do what I do. So for me, it is, it fulfills me with joy to share it, because this is how, it is not a very happy story. On the other hand, this is what has led me to help other people. And has helped me to be happy. So 7 years ago now, I was running my technological awarded startup. I was living my dream. I had a team of 6 people. We had created a product. I was talking to investors. For the first time I was running my business. So it was, a dream coming true. And I was so excited. And during that time, my sister, 22 months younger, who was recently divorced with 2 young kids, she was diagnosed with a very rare disease. My immediate reaction was to pause my life, to leave my husband and my young son, who was about 5 then, and go to my sister along with her to the doctors. Actually, sometimes I would take her test results and I would go to the doctors on my own. And I was doing research because of my academic background. I was doing research online at nights to find the best article or the best treatment or the best team in the world to support her. 3 months later, my sister had a team of doctors and a plan, and I was left miserable at home, depressed. I had lost my desire for my business. I had lost my desire for my family. I couldn't take care of my son. The relationship that I had with my husband at that point was quite safe, okay? And I remember saying, I don't like my life. This is not the life that I want. I'm doing something wrong. I remember that day that I first said that to myself, that I'm doing something wrong. I need help. And what I'm sharing now, I need help. It was the first time in my life that I said I will ask for help outside family and friends at 40 years of age. And I think this is so fundamental. When I see people in my community, in my group, clients that I have, they haven't learned to ask for help. They believe that they can do everything on their own.
That's huge.
And and this was me for 40 years. As you said, I had too many degrees. I had really good jobs. I was traveling around the world. I was having a really nice life looking from outside. But actually, I was following paradigms. And I will tell you what I mean. Okay. When I said I need help, I was so fortunate to remember an amazing lady that I had met years before, and I was impressed by her. She was helping parents. So I went to see her, and through group experiential work, this is how my program is led at the moment, because I got trained to that work as well. So through being a part of a team, in a small team, I started seeing that my reaction to my sister's illness was just because this was the role that I had in my parental family.
The role of caregiver, or what would you say?
The role of the doer, the actually going to offer help without being asked, the person who would put other people's needs on top of their own.
That people pleaser, doer,
yes,
sacrificing yourself for everybody else.
Yes, exactly. This kind of person. And in that group, I learned that actually, since the day we're born, from the first minute, our parents as a system, they have chosen the role that the kid will have in the family.
Yeah.
And I was the first one. I had the role of the doer, the accomplisher. My sister's role in the family as a second person, as a second kid, was the one of the defenseless child who always needs help. But this is never true. Yes. Because we are born the same. We have amazing unlimited capabilities. All of us. We are born exactly the same. So it is the environment that actually puts us so much burden and roles that actually, if we don't feel when we are young, they will throw us out. We cannot survive. So it's good that we do follow the roles. But we reach a point, for example, when you reach 40 years of age, and you actually behave within this role, that you realize that this doesn't serve you anymore.
Yes.
Because now you are an adult and you have other needs.
Yes.
And you don't need to fulfill this past role in order to be accepted.
That's huge, though, to get to.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I see so many people, and I, it's the work that I do as well, and because I've had to do it on my own, experiment with, myself too, and continue to every day. But it's such a hard thing to disrupt those programs, right? And those patterns. And, I find that we get so attached to those roles that we play. And so how do you express that to your clients and explain that to your clients so that they can start to move away from that?
Okay, I will explain exactly. This is how we do it experientially, as I say. So I may, for example, read the script of a family, a screenshot of a family story. And before I read the story, I will give them roles. Okay. Yeah. So they will take the roles, and actually I will read the story, and then they will discuss, while they discuss, they actually behave in the way that they have been programmed. Okay. So their behavior and expressions are exactly what their program is. Okay. Wow. And actually, when this role playing finishes, after quite a lot of discussion, and I ask specific questions, so people engage and they share and they open up, then they take out all of these role hats and they can be themselves. And I give them a choice when they see how they have been behaving for years, and they see that beliefs that other people have are their own now, they get an option to change. This group is the safe environment that it accepts them exactly as they want to be. So they don't have to put masks on to be accepted. We accept them exactly as they are. And this is the group that actually they will dare to show a different self, to change, to transform.
Yes.
And this is why it works, because so many people have read about this, you know? We have heard stories about paradigms and programming, but actually it's not the knowledge that we don't have. It's the action that we don't have.
Experience.
The experience. Exactly. So this is why my program is an annual program, and we meet every week, with the groups. Each and every group, we meet once a week to do this 2-hour experiential work. So this gives them the experience that they need to behave differently, to fulfill what they want to fulfill, to make their dreams a reality, and actually dare to dream, because we have so many blocks, not dreaming, not accepting ourselves, not actually wishing to have more, that, I just give permission. You have permission now to do whatever you want. And actually, this is why I work with people who are older than 40, 45 years of age. Okay, people that have tasted life, and now they know that they need some help. They need to do something about it.
Well, it's interesting that that's the age that you work with, and I love that. And what just came to me in that is I follow astrology, and I utilize astrology and human design, with my clients. And so in astrology, our Uranus return is right around that time frame that you're talking about.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's this natural. So it's almost like you're naturally intuiting, understanding that is, this whole midlife crisis, all these things. It's really the Uranus where it's like it's disrupting our life. It's saying, are you sure you want to be in this role? Are you sure this is the life that you want to live? And we get to reevaluate around that time frame. And it's usually like late 30s, 38 to like 45, 44, something like that. So it's right in this time frame where we've lived already a life, and we're like, okay, generally if we've had kids, we have them by then usually, so we're like, am I happy here? Am I really happy? And do I feel fulfilled? And even more than happy is fleeting, but do I feel fulfilled in my life? Do I feel satisfied? Do I feel, is there a sense of mission and purpose, in my life? And how do I show up for myself? And so I love that's the age that you're doing, because I feel that is the age that more awareness really can come in such a natural way, because these planets, as without, it's within, it's like, it's naturally opening these portals within us, this space within us, to be able to receive it in a different way than say when we're 25, right? Or 28 years old, and we're still just experiencing life. We still don't know enough about ourselves at that age to really understand. So I love that.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, my parents, my clients are the people that actually, they feel that, this is it for their lives. And they wonder, do I want to, to accept this? Because they have the kids, as you say, they have a job, they have some money, but they see that they're struggling. They see that they don't get the money that they wish easily. They don't actually connect with others and communicate with others easily. So they see that their relationships need to improve their relationships. And the other thing that actually is quite important for them is to find the passion and inspiration for life, to be able to get up with excitement, to get up out of bed with excitement for life, and not just saying, okay, let's, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, here's the weekend again. Great. So I'm helping them live every day to the fullest. And what they say, as soon as they decide to get into the program, their feedback is, I feel adult, I feel free. And it's the decision that actually I'm putting my life first now. I'm putting myself top on my priorities, and I'm investing money and time, because this is how we show our commitment, by investing time and money. So yeah, actually, this is the age that I'm looking for. Because I need people to have seen, to have tried, and actually to have seen that they repeat same behaviors and they get the same results. Yeah. So they know they need help.
This patterns just keep repeating until we disrupt them, right? Yeah. to be in that space where, when I've had to make some of the biggest changes in my life, it was a very honest and, moment with myself where I had to realize that I'm like, okay, to stay in this space right now that I'm in, there's going to be more pain in this than if I change and if I shift and if I move into the uncertainty of something new. And I feel that it's an age that we're ready to really do that at and say, wait a minute, if I keep doing what I'm doing, what's the point? What is the point? And I'm ready to really shift here. And I love that. And, I love how you turned your own pain into your purpose and helping other people do that same thing, because what I sense in that too is empathy and compassion for the women that you work with and the people that you work with. Do you work with just women or do you work with men too?
I work with men as well.
Okay.
And it was, I started working with women, and then men came asking for the program. And I can see the results that the men have, because the whole program is based on emotions and emotional intelligence, how we identify who we are, what we feel, and how we manage our feelings. And, how we see other people, how we have empathy, and how we build connections, the whole range of emotional intelligence. The amazing thing with men is that actually, because they are riskier than women, so they have this in their blood, but they don't have the emotional connection. As soon as they get to the emotional connection, men, it's like, rockets. They go fast, they turn their lives very fast, because they, this is gold for everyone, but especially for someone who has, actually, because I'm working with entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs need to work with risk, need to take chances, need to make fast decisions. So they have this. As soon as they connect with their mission and heart, they do miracles. They have really fast results. Women, on the other hand, are connecting to their heart very fast. So we work with them to get the power and to get the courage to take leaps instead of steps.
That makes perfect sense. It's the feminine and the masculine, right? And so, if we are female and I understand that. And I do tend to be more masculine in my approach. I'm more of a doer. I have the manifesting generator. So that part of myself, within human design, I can do. But yeah, I can see that. And it makes sense. So I have a question for you, like with men, and, you're saying that they're missing the connection, that emotional connection. How do you, and emotional intelligence is like top for all of us, right? Like that is how we understand who we are and what we want and what we desire. And I feel that until we understand that our desires are generally our parents' desires or society's desires, until we understand and know ourselves and know how we feel and why we're feeling these ways. So what is something that you do, with men or with women? Is it the same with men and women, or do you No,
it's the same. Yeah.
So what would be a tool that you would use, like, just a simple tool that you would suggest that somebody could use to start to tune into like how they feel and their own emotional intelligence to raise that?
What I see all the time, and actually I'm running a 3-day workshop on fear next week. I would advise them, and this is what I say to my clients in many ways, not to be afraid to accept feelings. Feelings are neutral. They are not bad or good feelings.
Yeah.
Feelings are feelings. So the problem is that we feel, but we block the feeling. We don't accept it as being real. Because if, for example, we get angry with our parents, this is not acceptable socially. Mm-hmm. So we don't dare to accept that we may have anger towards someone that we love, okay? Because we haven't been taught to accept our feelings. We have been taught to push them down. So what I would say to them, and what I say, is actually find the courage to accept every feeling, because feelings are there.
Yes.
And we are afraid of them.
Mm-hmm.
We're afraid about what they mean, what they will do to others. And, the second thing is that actually I keep repeating this in my masterclasses as well. You are never responsible of how someone else feels. This has nothing to do with you. So I am responsible about my behavior and how I feel, and you are responsible for yours. And I can never make you feel something. You feel something because of your journey and because of your experiences and paradigms. I don't have any control. And as soon as someone really accepts that, that, I cannot make someone happy or sad, they start wondering how they can get happy.
I love that. This speaks so much too to, the issue of codependence, right? And all this. And I found too, just with my own experience with it, and working with my own clients, codependency is really a control mechanism. A lot of codependents feel that they're the victim, but they're really so much control because they're changing themselves in order to try to make somebody happy or content or satisfied, not realizing that they really don't have that control, and they're doing everything. They're manipulating the environment. They're manipulating themselves and the other person just to, stay with whatever their idea of that relationship or situation should be in their mind. And so I feel too that is a liberating, what you're just saying. It's so liberating when they can really understand that. It's that you don't have control over anybody else's feelings. And coming back to yourself. I had to do that for myself as well too. I found myself just with different relationships that I would be in and stuff in the past, and I would be so consumed with what they were doing, what they weren't doing, how they were feeling, how I could do something and how they would respond. And I was like, I remember sitting on my couch one day and I thought, and I was wrapped up in this whole story and process and everything. I was completely outside of myself. And I paused for a minute and I'm like, oh, Erin, where are you right now? Where are you? And I literally called my energy back in, not knowing, it was just so natural. I was like, where are you at? And just doing that. And then saying like, you're okay, Erin, it's okay. You're right here, right now, brought me back into this present moment of where I was. And then I was able to be like, okay, what do you want, Erin? Where are you at? And what do you want? How do you feel? And that was the day that like my whole life started to shift, because I realized that I was giving so much of my power away, and I had nothing left for myself to live my dreams, to live my passion, to do what I really wanted to do. And when we can't be in that place, we're of no service to anybody else. Hey, this is Erin Esser, and I really hope that you are enjoying this show. I wanted to ask you this question. Imagine what your life could be like if you knew your purpose. I work with astrology and human design as tools of activating your life. I'm able to pinpoint specifically where in your life are your challenges and limitations, and then also be able to pinpoint where your dharma is, where your freedom is, where your liberation is, what your purpose is in this lifetime. For more information on my karma to dharma readings that dramatically shift people's lives, head to my website, erinesser.com, or you'll find the link below. Now back to the show.
Yeah, actually, what I say in these cases is, I really resonate with you, to everything that you just said. As I say, it is, you need to have an overflown cup to give. Yeah. You cannot give when the cup is half full. You cannot, okay? You need to be full so you can give more.
Absolutely.
And as you said, who am I? Where am I? Exactly. Where am I? And it is very hard for so many people to do that on their own, because they have been programmed for so many years, for decades. Yeah. Okay. So things like this don't change overnight. On the other hand, it is, this who am I becomes much bigger when you realize that actually you're not there to make other people happy. So suddenly you don't know what to do. Actually, last week I was having a group session, facing the fear of being still loved and accepted when they are going to become the new persons that they want to become.
Yeah.
This is huge, because we have so much fear to be loved, to be accepted, to be wanted. This is very raw, deep emotion. Fear of, actually, are we going to be alone from now on? What if we change and no one likes us?
Yes.
So it's not an easy thing to do on your own. And that's one message that I keep sharing. I asked for help when I was 7 years ago, and I haven't stopped. Now I invest in myself all the time. I ask for help. And I remember the first time when I did it, it felt like a huge weight came off, because I didn't have to know everything.
Yeah.
And until that moment, I thought I had to know everything.
It's a lot of pressure, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I hear you. You use human design, don't you? Do you use human design?
No, I don't use human design.
Okay. Yeah. I'm teaching a class right now on the different centers of human design. And, we have 9 different centers within the human design chart. And there's a head in the Ajna center. And I just went over these in my group on Monday night. And it's a pressure center. So anybody with like this center that's open, it's the pressure to know all of these things. And it can be overwhelming. And most people actually have that center open. And so there's all this pressure to know and to act on all of this inspiration and act on all of this knowledge, but it's not all of our own because we're being conditioned by it all. And so it's coming back to ourselves saying, okay, wait, what's mine? What's mine? And what's somebody else's maybe? What is, maybe how can I appreciate somebody else's passion or drive and love for what they do, but I don't have to get attached to it though either. I can just appreciate it, but not feel like I have to do and support and do all of utilize all my energy for that, so that this pressure can somehow, we can release the pressure a little bit, kind of take that pin out of the tire, that's like we're just filling up this air and pretty soon it's going to burst. And this is where anxiety comes from and all of these things. And, because we're like, oh, I have to know all these things, rather than like, oh wait, now I don't have to, it's not mine to know. And
yeah, you're so right. And what I actually changed as well, and it was fundamental for me, it was I used to be very certain on my opinions. I would say, this is it. This is me. And now I can change opinions every second. I'm so happy.
Oh my God. I love that. That's, it's so funny you say that actually, because that's one of the centers too, that I just went over, is the mind center.
I need to read about human design, I think.
It is amazing. It is. And it's like the same way as you. My whole life, I was like, I have to be certain about how I feel about my religion. I switched religions to try to find a belief system, politics, all of these things. I've been on all sides of every fence. I mean, literally every fence. And now I'm back to like, I don't know. Okay. Like I don't have to be certain about anything.
Yeah. Interesting. I say that's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Like that's an interesting perspective. Oh, I can see that. But then somebody else comes along with another way of thinking. And it's like, oh, I can also see that too. I don't have to become attached to that particular line of thinking, whether it's abstract or logical or, or whatever it is. And so that is so freeing, isn't it? It's
yeah, it is. Right? And actually, I'm not saying that we should change our values, for the I have specific values and I don't change them. Absolutely. But opinions, come on, we can change opinions. Actually, I remember that night that my mentor back then told me, Lia, you can decide now what you like and what you don't like. And I was like, oh my God. I started thinking, was it me that I liked this or not? I was checking everything. My first thought was, this is gold. I'm doing this. I'm changing my life now. I'm claiming me back. Yeah. And the second thought was, I'm helping other people. At that moment, 7 years ago, I realized that was my mission. I will find it and then I will actually help other people to do it, because I could see straight away that all people in my environment were actually following other people's paradigms and experiences and beliefs. So I could see it everywhere suddenly. So I said, there is a need here. And because I have been an entrepreneur and I love entrepreneurs and I love that journey, I started with entrepreneurs. This is going to be huge. Oh, sorry. I'm so excited.
It's okay. I can feel it. It's great.
I've been working with my brand team at the moment, and we are designing the brand. So this is going to transform the lives of millions of people. This is my goal.
Yeah. I mean, you're a thought leader and I love that. And, people like you and your mission in this world and, and what I do and what other people that are in this field do, we're the people who are going to shift this whole paradigm, and I do believe that lately over the last, however many years, I believe the paradigm is shifting. I believe the narrative is shifting more to a narrative of truth and of integrity and of a higher level of expression and a more authentic level of expression. And the way we can do that is exactly what you're doing, is like bringing emotional awareness to people, and so that they can start to like live in their own authenticity. Because if we're not, we're like zombies. Like what's we're not doing anything of any true value that's lasting if we're just running the programs. And, and I like to tell people there's programs, everything is a program, right? Like even, everything is a program. However, when we become conscious enough of who we are, we can then choose a program versus we're running it unconsciously. So now we become conscious of these programs. So we can say, and we can have this pause, of like, how do I want to show up in this right now? Rather than just being in reactive mode and
exactly
used by the program.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my partner actually was describing this to some friends that came over a few weeks ago, and he said, actually, when you are doing the opposite of what for example, your paradigm was, actually you are still reacting. You're not choosing. And this is you reminded me of that comment as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what I hear from that is like when we just flip it to the other side of the coin, we're still, like you said, we're still running the program. It makes me think of, years ago when there was part of me that I was tired of being controlled. I just felt like I was being controlled by every aspect of my life, from growing up, my childhood to, to other things. And so for a long time when I was younger, it was like middle finger to the world. I was like, F off everybody. And I was in full on rebellion mode, but I was just hurting myself in that process. And I was hurting other people. And so it was like, yes, I wanted my freedom, but I was putting myself in more slavery by doing that to myself rather than realizing and then coming into the middle. And I love this because I've been feeling this so much lately that we're really bridging the duality. I feel like we are really bridging the duality between we're living this third dimension, right? That we're living in it is a light, dark, good, bad, up, down, right, left type of universe. However, I do feel like we're coming into this age which is an either or, right? It's like the ones and zeros. We're coming into this place where it's it's like, oh, yes. And coming, like it's the Tao, right? It's holding two opposites and realizing that they're both there, but not attaching ourselves to either one, and realizing that there's a third way in this space. And there's another way that we can emerge and show up for ourselves without attaching ourselves to either or. How does that resonate with you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I truly resonate with what you're saying. And I think this is why we need time. And, some people are actually reaching the end of my program at the moment, and they are saying, actually, Leah, we need to stay more. We need to actually, have a way to connect, maybe twice a week, but we need more because we need time. And this, as you say, you can react to it, you can have the two opposites, but then where to be in the middle, because this space is quite big. So you have many options, so where to be. And actually, don't be afraid to try something, and if it doesn't work, check out what works and what you need to improve, and then change position, because I think we have this burden of not making a mistake, so we are trying to get it right from the first time. And I advise my community actually to be a bit more flexible with it, play it with it, try it. The only thing I wanted to say while you were speaking, and I just remembered, was how important it is to be yourself.
Yes.
Don't try to match other people. Don't try to go after other people. And I have learned this the last year, not in a very nice ways, I am myself, and actually the feedback from my group is exactly this. You speak your truth, you speak from your heart, and you show integrity, and we can feel that. So this is great. But actually, when you are bombarded with so many people, what it's trendy, what it's nice, who people follow, you get distracted, and I welcome this, I observe it, and then I make a decision of what to do. I don't react straight away and disregard it straight away.
Yeah.
I'm more open, and that gives me some freedom
Yes.
to see where I want to stand, and actually to make my point or my position brighter and clearer.
Yeah.
So I use words of being ethical, of having integrity, and this is an amazing filtering process because people who connect will stay, and people who don't, they will leave.
Absolutely. Well, I love that, because it's like what I hear in that and how you're stating that is like just trusting. As long as you show up as yourself, here's what I'm hearing you say: as long as you show up with yourself, with your integrity and being ethical, the people that are there and that are meant for you, and they're going to stick around.
Exactly.
And the ones that aren't, they'll find something else, and it's okay.
Yes.
Like not everybody is for, not everybody is for us, and we know who's correct for us. It doesn't mean that they're bad or anything else. It's just, how I look at it too is like some people are aligned in this season and some people aren't. It's okay. Just allow it to sift through and fall in it. But as long as like we're in our own space and in our own integrity and our own self, it won't feel like such a struggle.
Exactly. Very well said, Erin. Very well said.
I love that. Well, it has been so great speaking with you today. And, I want you to be able to, we'll have it in the show notes as well too, but I know you have a Facebook group. Would you want to share that right now with anybody? Or if there's anything that like you want to, anything that you have going on right now? I know you mentioned your groups.
Intelligent Leaders Group, entrepreneurs who build thriving businesses. This is the community. This is a safe place where I go live. I share my offerings and my masterclasses first. And this is the group and the people that I have been nurturing, and I have been actually building relationships for the last 8 months. We are 240, I think, at the moment. So it is a small group, but we are leaders, amazing leaders from all around the world. So it is a very nice place to come in, to have a look. And if you want, stay. If you don't, you can say goodbye.
And that's the Facebook group?
Yes, this is the Facebook group. And actually, if you can share, I have given you a link about 5 tips of how to master business and family. I just created this during the second lockdown. My first reaction was I just need to give some tips to people now. So this is, a very 5 easy steps to master your family and business. A PDF document, with not so many words, helpful words for you.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Erin.
We'll have that link below. So it's 5 tips to master your family and your business. It's a free gift from Lia, and we'll have that in the comments. So grab that. And thank you so much for being here for another episode of Activate Your Life show. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell for reminders. And if you're listening to the audio on the podcast, make sure you share and come back next week for another amazing show. Thank you so much, Lia. And
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Yes, absolutely. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for joining me on today's show. To learn more about Activate Your Life podcast and my YouTube channel, just go to erinesser.com. Download the free gift at erinesser.com/healthy-boundaries. That is all for now. We'll see you next week.